Hi, everyone. I'm Kevin Tharp, and I'm going to talk to you today about DMT 311 and 511. And I'm limited to 15 minutes here on this video, so I'm going to get into it right away. First off, as you're going through the Welcome to DMT and the first day stuff, you'll see that you need to sign up for a textbook. That textbook is through a system called Stukent, and those Stukent codes, I've already had a number of students contact me and let me know that they haven't got their codes. I will look into that and I will post information about that into the announcements as soon as I know what's going on. Just getting started here. So when you come in the first day, there's things to do. Introduction, get started. This is going to set the tone for the way that I run my class throughout the whole semester. So before I go into here, I'll show you the way that the class is set up in general. So there are a series of modules. Each of these are modules. And in each module, there's going to be an overview. That overview lays out what you're going to need to be doing for that week with links to whatever resources you're going to need to be using. So always start with this getting started or the overview. Um, and there's going to be one in each thing. So start here in the first day. After that, it becomes the overview, and then that's going to point to things like what are we doing for that week? Reading and quizzes, labs and discussions, assignments. Later in the semester, we'll be doing simulations, and so that's the place to start with those. And when we come in, so the first thing you'll see is this first day introduction and getting started. That's where you need to start. Then you'll see that also for this week, the week one stuff, we get right into this class because I like to front load the workload for the semester to the front and middle of the semester so that at the end of the semester it's more of a gentle landing than having a whole bunch of stuff to do right at the last minute. So I move the balance of the work towards weeks when you wouldn't in your other classes, if you're taking other classes, normally have as heavy of a load. So you'll notice that in week two, we've got two chapters that we're going to be going over, and that buys us time later in the semester so that we don't have quite as much workload at the end. So what you're going to need to do is you're going to need to go in to this first day stuff, and it's going to tell you what you need to do. Read the syllabus. That's the contract. That's going to tell you most of what you need to know about how things are going to work in this. The textbook and simulation, you can't do that yet because you haven't got your codes. I think I'm getting an update on that. I'll let you know in another announcement later today or tomorrow, depending on when I get a response from Instructional Resource Services. We use Canvas to do most of the work in the class, but we also link to the textbook. So there's readings, there's quizzes, there's simulations in the textbook as well. As far as communicating with me, Teams is the best way of getting in touch with me. It makes me very accessible to you at all kinds of hours when I wouldn't otherwise be available to you. I also respond to emails, but they're not as quick as they are as with Teams. Calling me on the phone doesn't really work because I get so many marketing and political calls that if I answered the phone every time I called, all I'd be doing is answering marketing calls. So phone is not a good way to reach out to me. If you want to talk to me or do a video, then Teams is the way to do it. And as it says here, it's the primary means of communicating with my students. And one of the things that you need to do in the first week is establish communication with me on Teams. So that's the first day stuff. Once you have viewed that, then it's going to bring you into the week one stuff, which is also this week. So you'll need to do that. Now you'll notice that I've got prerequisites here where you won't be able to see this until you've completed the tasks in the whatever is the prerequisite. I use that throughout the semester. And what it does is as you get to the point in the course, it opens up the next section so that you can see it when you're ready to see that. This class is laid out for the entire semester, and each of the items that are in here are pretty similar. So, what you're going to do, you're going to have different learning materials. You're going to have readings and quizzes. You're going to have labs and discussions. And then every once in a while, there are some other things. Later in the semester, we'll start with simulations. Simulations are through the Stukin textbook, and we will cover that earlier or later. So let's talk about this week one. There's a couple things that I want to really dig into. You're going to notice a bunch of stuff about video discussion posts for this first week. That's because I use video discussion posts heavily in this course. It's a means of communicating with each other. It's also a means of generating data, and this is a data course. And so, what we end up doing, the way that we do the discussion posts, is you record a video, you upload that video to YouTube, and then you embed it from YouTube into the discussions. So, each of the discussions, um, the introductions one, the entire class sees. After that, I've broken up the class into smaller size groups so that you'll be working with the same group of students throughout the semester. In this discussion one, data literacy, it tells you some things that you need to make sure that you've got in place on your YouTube channel when you're uploading the videos and embedding them. So make sure you read all of this. But in the discussions, there are two due dates. The first due date is the due date that's shown in the calendar or right here, due January 29th for discussion one. So what that due date is the date by which you need to have posted your video and question to the discussion. So you record the video just as I'm doing this one, you upload it to YouTube, and then you embed it in the discussion. So that needs to be done by the due date. After the due date, there's 1 week to respond to at least 3 members in your group's postings. So this is a discussion. The only way to have a discussion is by two-way interaction or point to multi-point interaction. So uh, at least half of the points in any of the discussions is based upon you going in, watching the video that your group members have posted, and then responding to that. So you need to have the post, you need to have it done right. It needs to be embedded and it needs to be visible. And then you need to respond to at least 3 of your peers. Um, and that's the way that this works. So all the discussions work that way, except for the introduction. The introduction is more of just a place for us to get to know the people that we are working with. But there will be discussions due. There's a total of 7 discussions. 6 of them are require peer reviews. That's the feedback to each other. Um, and so the last discussion is due, or discussion 6 is due March 25th. That's the last one when you'll have to respond. So this class can pretty much be self-timed except for the discussions. And with the discussions, we need to fall within that window of when it needs to be turned in and when you need to respond to your peers. Other than that, this class is, you can work ahead but not get behind. That's the way that it's designed, and it's all in there and in place at this point. So the thing to do right now is dig into this first day, dig into week one, do your discussions. I will have information on Stukit as soon as possible so you can do the readings and the quizzes. Um, this will tell you how to use Microsoft Stream. That's the software I'm using to record this. It'll tell you how to use Microsoft Stream to record, publish, and then upload the video and then embed them down into the discussions. And that is the main thing that I need to cover right now. Um, Yeah, I think that's pretty much it. If not, I'll be putting out more videos. I regularly put information out in the announcements if it's really important, but most of the one-to-one interactions happens in Teams. And I'm going to cut this short for now, and just tell you that I will be back in touch with you this week to make sure that everything is going good. And you guys will be establishing communication with me on Teams. So I'll be talking with you all this week, and we'll pick it up from there. Talk to you later. Bye bye.